Hello beautiful yogis, and welcome to this yoga video for YouTube. My name is Charlotte Skogsberg, and we're here in the beautiful Bali, in Canggu, in the beautiful studio of Serenity Guest House and Yoga. And today we're going to work on a very specific part of our yoga practice. This is going to be a series of 4 videos working on our 4 physical chakras in our yoga practice. So we're starting today with our root, with Muladhara. The chakras are energy centers situated all over the body, and we mainly speak about the 7 ones that are situated along the spine. So starting down by the perineum, just in front of your tailbone, and then in 7 specific spots, they follow all the way up towards the crown of the head. Because it is our root, it's very much linked to our sense of grounding. It's linked to our legs and the connection that we can feel in the body, feeling the physical body as our temple, as our home, feeling safe in the body. And it's also the chakra that's developed first in the life of a person, which means that it starts developing from birth and during our first year. So even on a more subtle level, or should I say on a psychological level, it is also when we develop our sense of relationship to safety in itself, safety and security. As the small child has no way to be safe unless it has someone taking care of them, which would be parents or anyone else in the role of taking care of a child for the first year. So we develop our sense of security throughout our first year while we develop our first chakra. In the life that we live in today, in the society that we live in today, there's quite a lot of lack of grounding because we're in a very changing times. And so I put together this sequence in order to just find grounding, to allow yourself to connect to your root, to connect to your legs, connect to your body. It is the sequence that you then can take with you, and knowing that you can then stop and pause this practice whenever you want, if you would like to stay longer in one part, for instance in the beginning or in the end. Let's get started sitting in a meditative position, preferably, if you can, in a cross-legged position, so that you can tilt your pelvis towards the ground. Close your eyes and just take a long deep inhale through your nose, filling your lungs with air. Holding the air within for a few moments, just allowing the whole body to fill up on oxygen, and then very softly, as if you were letting the air out of a balloon, let it out through your mouth. I would like you to then come into a visualization. So as you sit here, start to imagine that you have roots, like the roots of a tree, and they're going down into the soil, into the earth. And each time that you inhale, visualize how you're absorbing the energy from the earth. Now this energy can be like a white sparkling radiant light. And so you're absorbing the energy through your roots, bringing them into the body. And then you contract your pelvic muscle and you softly let the breath out through your mouth instead. And you can sit for this for 1 minute, for 2, for 5, depending on how much you feel the need to settle before you start your practice. So this means that you can make a pause right here if needed. And just stay with that visualization, that meditative position for several minutes. And in order to set the mindset, once you feel that you are settled, when you're conditioned to come into your practice, repeat to yourself silently 3 times. I have the right to be here. I have the right to be here. I have the right to be here. When you feel that you are ready for your practice, start by coming into Balasana or Child's Pose. Let's come into a traditional variation of child's pose where your knees are together and you're rolling your whole body into a forward fold, bringing the forehead to the ground, and your hands are resting by the sides of your feet. You're contracting your pelvic floor and you pull your lower abdomen in. Coming into our 2 locks, our bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And as you start in child's pose, allow your breath to deepen. Maybe coming into a yogic breath. Then stretch your arms out towards the top of your mat. And rise up into a tabletop position on hands and knees. Hands just underneath your shoulders and your knees hip-width apart. Back is straight, long spine. Both hips are squared and facing the mat. On an inhale, arch your spine, broaden the collarbone and look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone underneath your chin to the chest and round your spine. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Then inhale, open up, and this time stay. So keep expanding all the way from the pubic bone through the front of your body and up towards your chin. On your next exhalation, bring your hands towards the top of your mat. Lean forward, tuck the toes under, and start to bend your elbows. Bring the chest and the chin down to the ground. Bring the shoulders back, tuck your elbows in, and pull your belly button in. Inhale. Exhale, slide down on your mat. Inhale, Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. Lift your chest, leave the navel in the ground. Exhale, lower down, and then come back into child's pose. Let's do that same sequence one more time. Come back up on hands and knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, stay. As you exhale, hands towards the front, lean forward, tuck the toes under, bend the elbows, chest and chin down. Shoulders back, elbows in, abdomen in, inhale, and then exhale, lay down. Inhale, Cobra pose. Exhale, lower down, and once again, child's pose. Come back up on hands and knees, and this time, let's add on. Let's make it a little bit more challenging so we start to heat up the body. Tuck the toes under already here and then come into a plank position. Let's stay first in plank. Hands once again underneath your shoulders. Strong arms, pressing the whole hand into your mat. Press your heels away from the head so that you open up in the back of your knee. Lengthen the tailbone. Engage your 2 locks, so perineum lifted, lower belly in, long neck. Shoulder blades are flat on your back. Inhale. Exhale, lower down for low plank or Chaturanga Dandasana. Roll your toes over. Lift up into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then turn the feet over again, lift the hips high and push them back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's do that sequence again one more time. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, downward dog. Walk your hands towards your feet. And maybe soften your knees here. Grab a hold of your elbows with the opposite hand and let your head hang low. Sway your arms gently from side to side, allowing the back and the waistline to stretch out. Move your head. And then release your hands down to the ground. Now, walk back out for downward facing dog. We will repeat this, what we would call a vinyasa, 5 times. And you can choose to do the variation with your knees on the ground, laying down and lifting in cobra, or do the more challenging one in a plank, low plank, upward dog. Up to you. So let's start. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. That was round 1. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Round 2. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Round 3. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Round 4. And the last round will finish in child's pose balasana. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale into child's pose balasana. Come up on hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet as wide as your mat and then walk your hands back. Sink low, Malasana Garland Pose Yogic Squat. Come sitting in between your legs. Now, if you find that this is a challenging pose, keep your hands on the ground. Otherwise, bring your hands together in front of your heart and press your elbows into your knees. This is a very grounding position. It's a very ancient, it's one of the most natural positions for human beings. But it's something with society that we have today isn't very comfortable anymore because we're so not used to having an open hip, but we sit too much on chairs. So it's a very good way to also kind of just start to relax the pelvis, which means that you're also helping your nervous system to calm down and coming into that grounding sensation. Now we're going to add on. So from here, I want you to bring your thumbs towards your forehead, towards your third eye center actually, which is the 6th chakra. And then on an inhale, start to lift your heels. Exhale, lower them down again. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Keep going. Now this is a really good time as well to check in on your breath again. Always remember that as long as you stay connected to your breath, you are listening to what your body is needing. So never compromise your breath. More and more come into a yogic breath. If you have an ujjayi breath, this would be the time where you would start doing that. Take one more inhale, lifting. And then exhale, lower back down again. Hands back down to the ground. Lift your hips and once again walk back out for downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right leg up and push the heel behind you. Now, as you're doing this, do not open your hip like we tend to do most of the time. Keep your hips squared, facing the ground, which means that you can't lift your leg so high, and that's fine. Pressing the heel away, flexing the foot, all 5 toes are facing your mat. And the idea here is to build up strength. So I want you to feel that you're pressing from your fingertips through the whole hand, through your arms, through your core, following the whole spine and into the heel. If you find that it's a challenge, come up on the heel of the left foot. If you want to challenge yourself more, press the heel of the left foot into your mat. And stay here for 5 or 10 breaths. As you inhale, feel yourself creating more space from the fingertips to the heel. And as you exhale, allow everything to settle. Take one more breath. And then exhale, come forward to a plank position with the foot still lifted. Inhale, find your center. Exhale, lower down. Maybe bring the foot down here. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifted. Same here, remember both hips are squared, facing your mat. Flexing the foot, pressing the heel away. Slow, deep breath. Fingertips are well in contact with your mat, as well as the space in between your index and your thumb. A couple of more breaths. Opening in the back of your knee. On an inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Maybe keep the foot lifted, maybe not. Inhale, upward dog, and lower the foot. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to make it towards the top of our mat. And so we can just start simply by stepping, pressing the heels down, lifting your tailbone real high. Bend your knees, look in between your hands, and bring the right foot and then the left foot in between your hands, folding forward. Flatten your back here to create some space for your spine. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, bring your arms up. Look up towards your thumbs and then exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Hands by the sides of your body, close your eyes. And once again, come back to that vision that we did in the beginning. And this time you can feel how the roots are coming from the soles of your feet into the earth. Absorb the energy from the earth. Contract your pelvic floor, your perineum, and softly let the air out through your mouth. I have the right to be here. I have the right to be here. I have the right to be here. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the sky and look towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Maybe bend your knees here if you need to. And bring the forehead closer towards your knees. Inhale, flat back, look far. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up. Now, as you come up, bring your hands together. Look towards your thumbs. Stay. Keep reaching your fingers forward and press into your heels. Engage your legs, so lift your thighs. Lengthen the tailbone. Engage the pelvic floor and engage your lower belly. One more inhale. Bring your arms behind your ears. And then exhale, fold all the way down again. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Look up towards your thumbs, and then exhale, hands to your heart center. Let's repeat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flatten your back, lift the tailbone, open in the back of your knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Once again, look up towards your thumbs, and this time, start to bring your arms already as far back as you can. Press into your heels, engage the front of your legs, and gently open your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Look up towards your thumbs. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. All the way up, look up towards your thumbs. Bring your arms as far back as you feel is comfortable. Press into your heels. Strong quadriceps. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to your heart center. One more round. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Lift the tailbone, open up in the back of your knees and feel the openness in your hamstring. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Once again, bring your hands together, hands as far back as you feel comfortable. And then exhale all the way down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Look up towards your thumbs. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Hands by the sides of your body. Find your connection again. Connect to your feet, connect to your legs. Lengthen the tailbone, lifting the pelvic floor and pulling the lower belly in. Now, interlace your fingers and turn your palms down. Find one focal point in front of you. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, start to lift your heels off the ground. Option 1 would be to just find a balancing position here. Option 2, lift as high as you can onto the balls of your feet. Option 3, bring your arms behind you as much as you can. Option 4, bring the tushy out as well. Option 5 would be to look up. Let's stay for 10 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and on 10, release your heels down, release your fingers, swan dive, all the way down. Maybe once again grab a hold of your elbows or grab a hold of your ankles, depending on how it feels in the back of your leg. Bring the forehead towards your knees and stay. Slow breath. Allow the blood to rush into your head. Allow your breath to settle and just feel each part of your body starting to wake up. Feel the energy starting to flow. Release your hands down to the ground. Bend your knees. Bend them as far down as if you would sit on a very small chair and let your chest rest onto your thighs. Reach your arms along the sides of your ears and find your strength. Press into the whole foot. Feel your heels pressing down. Strong legs. Bring the inner thighs towards one another. Engage your core. Your arms are strong, reaching forward. Biceps behind the ears. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, straighten your legs. Keep your upper body just as strong. Stay there. Reach forward with your arms. Trust your legs. Feel your thighs. Lift them up towards your lower belly. Take one more breath. And then on an inhale, rise all the way back up again. Gently bring your arms as far back as you can. And then exhale, hands to your heart center. Bend your knees for Utkatasana. Arms up. Look up towards your thumbs. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Look far. Now, as you exhale, bend your knees and step, or you can jump as well, of course. Come back into plank position, or come down on your knees if you prefer. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot in between your hands, and then flatten the left foot to the ground. Virabhadrasana A or Warrior 1. So rise all the way up for your Warrior 1. Now, if you're not used to this, first of all, make sure that you have strong legs, both heels on the ground. Back foot is turned in a 45 degrees angle, so that you then can, for instance, put your hands on your hips and help them square forward as much as you can. Sinking deeply into the front leg and strong back leg press into the heel. Arms comes up by the sides of your ears, and arms are strong and straight, but you're creating length for your neck. Maybe look forward, maybe look up. Let's stay here for about 4 more breaths. Keep the connection to your feet. Feel your heels pressing down. One more inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step back into plank position, lower down for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Step the left foot in between your hands, flatten the right foot to the ground, and come up. Once again, make sure that you have your legs in the right position, sinking into the front knee, squaring up your hips, arms up. Maybe looking up, maybe looking forward. Sink down. 5 breaths all together. Each time you inhale, lengthen your spine. And each time you exhale, sink into the front knee and keep pressing into the back heel. 1 last breath. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press your heels down and lift the tailbone high. Bend your knees, look in between your hands, and then just step forward again. Right foot, left foot. Flatten your back, create some space, and then exhale, fold forward. Now you can jump back and forth, whichever you prefer. Bend your knees, arms up again. Back into your Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, straighten your legs and hands to your heart. Beautiful. Let's repeat. Bend your knees, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, step, jump, or float. Come back into plank position. Lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot in between your hands, flatten the left foot to the ground. Now this time we'll do it in a more flow way. Rise up into your warrior one. Take one single inhale and then exhale straight away. Bring your hands back down, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. Left foot. Rise. One single inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And this time, let's come back to the center, to the front of the mat straight away. So, press your heels down, lift the tailbone. Bend your knees, look in between your hands, and then step or jump, whichever you prefer, come forward. Flat back, look far, create some length. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up. Look up towards your thumbs, and exhale, hands to your heart center. Let's do one last of those. Bend your knees, arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, step, jump, or float. Lower down for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot in between your hands and flatten the left foot to the ground. Rise up for your warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog and left foot. Flatten the right, rise. Inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. And good news, knees to the ground. Let's end in child's pose. Forehead to the ground, hands by the sides of your feet. Now stay in child's pose, but just start to notice your breath again. Don't collapse into the pose just because you feel like you need a rest. Allow the body to settle, but don't leave your practice. So keep a steady flow through the nose of your breath. Lift your perineum, pull the lower belly in. You're still in your two logs. Slow and steady breath. Bring your hands towards the top of your mat and come back into downward facing dog. Bring the feet wide apart again. Walk your hands towards your feet. Malasana again, garland pose. Sinking down, hands together in front of your heart, pressing your elbows into your knees. And once again, you can just actually stay here. You can bring your hands to the ground or come into that little dynamic movement that we did in the very beginning. Thumbs towards your third eye center. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, sinking. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, sitting. Inhale. And exhale. Hands down. Lift your hips and then walk back out for downward facing dog. Let's make it back towards the top of the mat. Press your heels down. Lift your tailbone. Now, bend your knees, look in between your hands. And if you want to jump forward, then bring the body weight as much as you can into your hands. So that when you make it forward, it's almost as if you were trying to control the movement only with your hands. Flattening your back, look far, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, Arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Hands by the sides of your body. Close your eyes. Stand completely still. Come back into your vision. Come back into that vision of your roots. Feel your feet. Feel the soles of your feet. Even lift the toes off the ground. Spread your toes wide. And then bring them down one by one, starting with the little toe and going all the way up towards the big toe. Feeling how you are grounded, how you are close to the earth. Then open your eyes. Bring your right knee up towards your chest. Hug the knee in towards the chest. Find length in your spine. Working with the thigh that you are standing on so that you're not leaning. Now this is option 1, just stay this way. Option 2 would bring your left hand to your hip. Peace fingers of the right hand around your big toe. Maybe just lift that foot up a little bit. Or if you are very open in the back of your legs, in your hamstrings, maybe stretch the leg out in front of you. Let's stay for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you find that this is actually quite challenging for the back of your knee, please bend the knee and just grab a hold of the knee for the next one. You can also do this, of course, with your legs straight. On an exhale, open up your leg to the side. Same here, find the strength in the leg that you're standing on, or with the knee bent. Ooh. And you can also choose to look forward, or turn your gaze towards the side. Let's stay here as well for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then bend the knee, grab a hold of your ankle. Now, we're coming into Vrikasana or tree pose. Option 1, the classical variation, would be to bring the foot to the inside of your thigh. If you find that this is a bit of a challenge, just bring the foot further down, not on the knee, but either underneath or on top. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Strong thigh, strong center, lengthen. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lift your arms up, maybe. Maybe bring your hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers, opening the chest. Maybe look up. Maybe even start to fold forward. Option, choose whichever you prefer. If you are folding forward, take 5 breaths to fold and then slowly come back up. Bring the foot back down and release. Feet as wide as your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, just fold up. Find ease. Relax down. And then bring your feet back together. And just roll up. For the other side. Bring your left knee up towards your chest. Hug it in. Once again, choose your option. Staying this way. Or going into one of the other options, maybe just holding the big toe, maybe stretching the leg out. 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then maybe stretch the leg out to the side. Maybe just hold the knee. Maybe look forward. Maybe look to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then come into your tree pose as well. Choose your option. Remember to protect your knee. Strong thigh that you stand on, strong core. Lengthen your spine. Remember you're a tree. Hands to the heart for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift your arms up. Maybe stay there. Maybe bring your hands behind your back, interlace the fingers, open the chest. Maybe look up. Maybe choose the option of folding. Whatever you do the same on both sides to even out your practice. Even though we tend to have a preference for one side, help yourself to become more balanced by doing it on both sides. Release, and once again, feet as wide as your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Come back down into your Muladhara garland pose. Hands to the heart, and press your elbows into your knees. Just sit here and lengthen your spine. Help your hips to open, and bring your shoulder blades towards your hips. Bring your hands to the ground, lift your hips, and walk your feet in together. Flatten your back, and inhale, rise, come all the way up. Look up towards your toes. Exhale, fold all the way down again. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, bend your knees, step, jump, or float. Come back into your plank, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now, come down on your knees and come sitting on your heels. If you have Shirshasana headstand in your practice, feel free to come into your headstand now and stay in it for 10 to 20 counts or 10 to 20 breaths. If you do not have this in your practice, what we'll do now for a little bit is that we're going to work our way towards it. We're going to build up strength, and we're going to come into a preparation practice for it, which will give you just as much grounding and sensation of calm as if you were actually in the headstand. So first of all, bring your elbows to the ground. And then interlace your fingers. Don't close the hand fully like you would when you close your hands or when you clasp your hands, but keep an open clasp. Come up on your knees and then tuck your toes under. Lift your knees off the ground and try to come into what would be called the dolphin pose, or a variation of a downward facing dog. And first of all, we're just going to do a little bit of a strengthening work. So from here, try to press into your heels as much as you can. And then on 10 counts, on an inhale, lean forward. Bring your head just in front of your hands. And then exhale, press back again. That's 1. That's 2. Work with your breath. That's 3. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Now, if you feel the need for it, bring your knees down to soften a little bit, to relax. And you will notice that when you do this, your elbows tend to go out to the sides. Always try to bring them back in. A good measure is to have a look at where your shoulders are compared to your elbows. Try to keep your elbows just underneath your shoulders. Now, since it's not a headstand workshop, we will not go into the details of how to come into a headstand if you don't have it already in your practice. So, the next exercise will be for those of you who do not have a headstand yet, who do not maybe practice it very much. And in that case, you can just come into a variation that will help you to calm yourself down. So, from here, bring your head down to the ground so that the back of your head is resting towards that open clasp. Tuck the toes under, lift your knees off the ground. And you can stay here or you can start to walk your feet forward. And then stay there. Heels quite low or heels quite lifted. And we're going to stay for 10 counts as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring your knees to the ground again. And sink back into a child's pose. Very important after headstand. And for those of you who were in a headstand all the time, come back into a child's pose as well. You can stay in child's pose. Now, it's very important that you stay in child's pose after this exercise for as long as you feel the need to. Which means that at this point you can also pause the video. Then, when you're ready for it, come back up on hands and knees. If you have it in your practice, come into downward facing dog and jump through to sitting so that you come out for Paschimottanasana. If you don't have jump through in your practice, just follow my lead. Cross your ankles from here and come around sitting. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Walk the sitting bones out behind you. Flex your feet, pushing the heel away, turning the toes towards your face. Strong legs. Lift your thigh. Lift your chest, lift your arms. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward. Now grab a hold of whatever you can, whether it's your knees, your shins, or maybe your feet. Then before you fold forward, create length. Stretch out your spine, inhale. And then exhale, fold. Slow breath. Inhale and look up. Exhale, sit up. Bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Similar as Paschimottanasana, Janushirshasana. When it comes to the legs, strong leg, flex foot. Sitting bones into the ground, chest is lifted, arms are lifted, inhale. Exhale, fold forward here as well. A little bit less long on this pose. Sinking down with your sitting bones behind you. Trying to bring your lower belly to the thigh before you allow the rest of your body to sink down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit up. Bring that knee up. Left hand for support. Right arm to the inside of the leg, and then reach that arm forward. Wrap your right arm all the way around your right leg, and then see if you can meet with your hands behind you, or just hold a t-shirt. Inhale, create some length, and then exhale, fold forward. Stay for just a couple of breaths. And then inhale, look up. Now with your left shoulder, roll it behind you to open to the back. So exhale, roll that shoulder open. And then turn your gaze and look behind you. Come back to center. Stretch both legs out and let's just change sides. So left foot down, sinking in with your sitting bones into your mat. Lift the chest, lift the arms. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, fold forward. Grab a hold of whatever you can. Let the lower belly come closer to the thigh before you go further. Inhale, look up, and then come up, sit up. Bring the left knee up. Same on this side. Right hand down, left arm around. Reach the arm forward and see if you can wrap it around the left leg. Bring the right hand around, maybe clasp your hands, maybe not. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, fold down. Rounding as much as possible, starting now to really slow down. Then inhale, look up, and same thing with the right shoulder. Exhale, roll the right shoulder open and look behind you. And come back to center. One more Paschimottanasana. Legs stretched out, sitting bones out behind you. Lift your chest, lift your arms. Inhale, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, sit up. And then continue that movement and go all the way down to your mat. Bring your knees towards your chest and stretch your legs up towards the sky. You might just want to stay here if you don't want to take it further. If you want to come into Sarvangasana, into shoulder stand, lift your hips off the ground, hands to the hips. Walk your elbows closer in together and stretch your legs up. Either point or flex your feet. If you are flexible enough, allow your chin to come to the chest. Now I recommend that you stay for 1 or 2 minutes in this pose. We won't do it as long for this video, but that is up to you. Then from here, bend your knees and bring the knees towards your forehead. Stay there or stretch the legs out. If you can bring your feet to the ground, let your hands come down to your mat. Maybe interlace your fingers and stretch your arms. A couple of breaths here. And then bend your knees and bring them down. Stretch them up again. Hands flat on your mat. Control the movement as you go all the way back down. Let's end as a counter pose to shoulder stand with Matsyasana, fish pose. Hands underneath your buttocks. Point your toes. Press your elbows into your mat. Lift your chest. Walk your elbows close together. Expand. Let the head come down to the ground. A couple of breaths here. And release. Shavasana. Lay down. Let your feet come as wide as you find comfortable. Hands have the palms towards the sky. Roll your head once to the right, once to the left, and then back to center. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Let it out with a sigh. And you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you desire.